also being joined by Chris Lynch, who is a journalist from Christchurch in New Zealand. Hello to you, Chris. Now, TikTok being banned on government devices, what is behind this move?
Well, in a very short statement issued to media today, the Parliamentary Service Chief Executive said, on our advice, and I quote, all security experts are now telling us that Parliamentary Services has informed members and staff that the application TikTok will be removed from all devices with access, as you say, to this parliamentary network. Arrangements can be made, they said, for those who require the app to perform other democratic duties. So they're saying basically this was a security threat, as you've outlined, same security threats for Britain and the likes of the US. But what we still don't know is whether or not some of these MPs that do use TikTok will still be able to use or actively use the platforms, say for argument's sake, on their personal phones. That has not been fleshed out yet, but I would suspect that would be the case. But this decision, they say, this is from the Parliamentary Services, has been made based on, and I quote, unquote, our own experts and analysis following discussions with our colleagues across government and internationally. And based on this information, the service has been determined that the risks are not acceptable in the current New Zealand parliamentary climate.
Right, and Chris, have New Zealand MPs had much of a presence on TikTok?
Well, I was going through my phone today to find out exactly who and who wasn't on TikTok, and ironically it appears that most of the New Zealand major political parties are on TikTok, apart from the government Labour Party itself. So you do have the likes of somebody from the co-leader of the Māori Party, has a very strong personal presence on TikTok, and I've seen her videos. I've often wondered to myself whether her material is actually appropriate as an MP. Having said that, I suppose she captures a younger market, but with how much success, who would know? But all the major political parties are on TikTok, but one has to kind of ask themselves whether when you're watching the messages that they're putting out there, whether they're actually meaningful, engaging, or just trying to appease an audience that doesn't have much of a decent attention span. So I'm hoping they'll probably get rid of them, because I think that'll make the public discourse in this country stronger, if not better.
Right, and have we had any comment from your Prime Minister on this move as of yet?
Yes, we have. Prime Minister Chris Hipkins gave a short statement to Radio New Zealand today, saying that the way we operate in New Zealand context is very different from internationally. He did say he's not been briefed on the guidance, but he did say that our systems work slightly different to other countries. He said that the departments and agencies in New Zealand take their advice from the government Communication Security Bureau in terms of their IT and cybersecurity policies. The government doesn't actually have a blanket across the public sector approach to this, he says, which happens in other areas. But he did say that he expects other government departments, including Parliament, would consider the advice from the likes of its own security service in making those decisions. And the big question, of course, that everyone wants to know, of course, is Chris Hipkins on TikTok himself? Well, the answer is no. He was quoted earlier today as saying he's not hip and trendy.
Right. Thank you very much for being with us, Chris, for joining us with all those details coming out of New Zealand.
Nice to see you.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.